So today I'm going to show you how to do a left slanting and a right slanting decrease in brioche. So I have brioche knitting set up, and the thing to remember is that you're going to have a wrap stitch over every other stitch, and that counts as one stitch. So you see the red stitch is the wrap stitch and the yellow stitch is the knit stitch. These two together equal one stitch. So that is the key to remember in brioche. So when I refer to a stitch, it includes that wrap stitch. So the two decreases that I'm going to show you involve 3 stitches, and it's going to decrease 2 of those away. So you will end up with 1 stitch at the end. So we're going to work with 3 stitches and end up with 1. So for the left slanting decrease, you're going to slip the first stitch knitwise. So again, remember, this pair is actually a stitch. So you're going to slip that stitch knitwise. Then you are going to knit the next 2 stitches together. So this red stitch here is 1 stitch, and then this red wrap plus yellow stitch is the 2nd stitch. So all 3 strands of those are 2 stitches, and you're going to knit those 2 together. Okay. Then that stitch that you had slipped, so that includes that red wrap and the yellow stitch, you're going to pass that stitch over the stitch you just knit. So insert your needle and lift it up and over that stitch that was before it. And now you have a left slanting decrease. So I'm going to go ahead and just do a regular brioche stitch, and then we will do another left slanting decrease. So slip the stitch before it because you want to start with that paired stitch. So again, take that paired stitch, it is technically 1 stitch, slip it with your needle held knitwise. Then you are going to knit 2 together, so that is the red stitch and then the yellow stitch with the red stitch wrapped over it. So knit those 2 together. Then take that slip stitch, so that's both the stitch plus the red wrap, pick it up, pass it over that stitch you just knit. And that is a left slanting brioche stitch. For a right slanting decrease, go ahead and slip that stitch. So we're starting with the paired stitch. Just like before, you're going to slip the first stitch, so that paired stitch, knitwise. Then this time you're going to knit just the very next stitch. So this does not have a paired stitch. So knit that stitch. Pass the slipped stitch over that stitch. So again, pick up that stitch, pass it over. Then you're going to transfer the stitch on your right hand needle over to your left hand needle. So you want to slip the left hand needle purlwise, pass that back over so it's on this needle. Then this stitch, which is a paired stitch, you're going to slip that over this stitch you've just moved over here. So pick it up, slip it over. Then you need to put this stitch back over to your right hand needle. So again, slip it purlwise, you don't want to twist it. And now you have a right leaning decrease. So let me do just a regular brioche stitch, and then I will show you that right slanting decrease again. Okay, so it involves 3 stitches. This first paired stitch, this second stitch, and this third paired stitch. Slip the first stitch knitwise. You do want to twist here. Knit the next stitch. Pass that slipped stitch, so remember it is a paired stitch, so you need both strands, over the stitch you just knit. Transfer that stitch from your right needle to your left needle, so slip purlwise, do not twist. Take this paired stitch and pass it over this stitch. Then transfer the stitch from your left needle back to your right needle. And again, you have that right slanting decrease. I hope you found this tutorial helpful. If you have any questions, please feel free to contact me on Ravelry. I am Karen Dawn, or you can find me on roundtableyarns.com. Thanks, and happy knitting!